Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and we are so excited to be starting Suddenly Amish. This is a brand new show on TLC where they're taking people from the English world and dropping them into an Amish community.
English world meaning the Amish's version of English, which is anyone outside of their community, basically.
One episode in, I think this is a banger. I'm obsessed with it.
This is good.
I hope every other episode is as good as this one.
This is very good. Okay, so here's the thing, is that they did it the right way. They didn't do this as like, a documentary of, here's the people's experience of trying to go back to this. No. We did an online ad campaign casting a wide net for people who may have searched off the grid sort of living scenarios, types of things where they don't really fully understand what's happening. Ask them a few clarifying questions of what they would think, what they would look forward to.
Yeah, I would love to get my hands on what the casting notes for this were.
Let me tell you.
I have a feeling that they were like, tell us what you know about the Amish community.
Have you ever seen the movie Kingpin?
Then I think they proceeded to say a whole bunch of things that were factually incorrect. And production was like, perfect.
Great. What are your ideals that you're looking for? Or what are you most excited about the opportunity of living in an Amish community? What does that look like to you? What do you think about that?
What are your deal breakers? Perfect. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I need you to show up this day and this time, and there'll be a horse and buggy to pick you up. And that's all they gave them.
Yeah. So the least amount of information that they have going into these participants who are joining of their own free will to be participants in this, what they think is going to be this miraculous, wonderful escape from modern society and the horrors and atrocities of American culture.
Well, so all of the things that they had in common was it seems like every one of them has something that they're trying to run away from. Like whether it's something in society as a whole or something personally within themselves that they're trying to fix, or they think they'll eradicate this part of their personality by not living within the worldly, community.
Well, and then also they feel like some form of isolation already. Like They feel kind of outcast in different ways. They don't really feel like they fit in with their community.
A lot of people who need a good therapist.
Well, a lot of people who need to find community. But is this the best way to do that? I feel like this is an extreme version of doing that. Maybe join a book club or try some other things first. I'm just saying, put that in front of dropping everything, moving off grid, and joining an entire religious organization that you have no idea, no comprehension of.
I think a lot of them don't even understand the religious element at play.
Well, so that's the thing, is that there are a lot of religious backgrounds that are evident here. There are some people who have had experience with the Amish culture as well and kind of know it at least to a better understanding than some of the other participants, which has less than zero information available to them.
So let's start out. We're in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
The home of Maisie.
It's where Maisie came from.
Maisie's from Lancaster.
So I guess we have more experience with the Amish community than some people on the show.
Some of the roads that they showed there in the B-roll, they looked a little familiar.
Yeah, it's like, is that where we've been?
Might have driven through there.
Beautiful furniture, very nice homes. Obviously, if you're not familiar with the Amish community, a big aspect of, what they do is avoid technology. They avoid electricity.
They abstain.
Correct, from a lot of things.
Because it's the temptations of technology. Life gets a little too easy, and you don't appreciate the hardships of God or something. Is that it? It's some of those things. They don't want to be flashy and stand out. They don't want attention.
They're trying to stay connected to, what they feel they should be.
God's creation.
Yes.
Nature.
And, yeah. That's not necessarily an iPhone.
No. Yeah, I don't think so. So we're talking about, what were we talking about? The Ordnung? Is that what you were talking about?
Okay, I am going to tell you, I am not writing down any of these German words.
Okay.
Any Dutch, any German.
There's a whole...
I can't pronounce them.
It's a mixture of, like they have their own language.
Also,
so,
it is impossible to watch this show if you're relying on the closed captioning. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, it's the AI closed captioning. So it's trying to decipher the English, American English out of the Amish German Dutch. So it's just a whole mix and match party.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching 90 Day where like they'll be speaking English and then they switch again. So you are going to need the captioning.
Because you kind of hear some things that it's an English type word that's in there too, but it gets confusing when they're just flipping back and forth, flipping the switch on us here.
I thought that the bishop's name was Berlin. And then I had to go back to the press release from TLC. His name is Vernon.
Yeah, Vernon.
So that's a little easier to decipher.
Okay. Did he say it differently? I don't know. Well, that's what he's trying to explain. They have their own, German dialect language that they speak as part of their communities. They don't do technology, electricity. They have the head coverings. There's like these religious observances that they hold near and dear in these communities as well.
He's explaining we're a religion, a community, a lifestyle. Like
it's everything.
It's everything
wrapped up into one.
It's immersive, which I think is the part that the participants aren't really grasping.
They don't know that yet. What I didn't like though is that its simplicity is then attributed to like that's perfection almost. Like there's this overlooked aspect of where, we don't do all that stuff so that we stay close to God, so that we have all these things. Okay, so does that mean that everyone in your community is completely happy and like well adjusted and all these things? Like, no, I don't think
that's
so.
an entire own podcast on its own to talk about, the issues within the Amish community.
Well, yeah. So like I didn't like the simplicity of the presentation of this is why we do these things so that we have these results.
Well, I wonder if some of the challenges will be revealed as, the participants interact with other people within the community.
Right. So
because they're wanting to come in. There are a lot of people who would love to go out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like that's what they're talking about too, is like part of that is that the dwindling communities, they have more kids leaving because of these temptations of, the TikToks, the cell phones.
Well, that's what makes you wonder. It's like,
is that what's doing it?
I understand feeling like you're missing out on something, right? FOMO. A lot of people experience that. But is it also maybe the problems that your community is plagued with in some ways that make people want to leave?
The insular community.
Could it be a little of both?
With the, just, is it the aspects of those social dynamics in that closed group that is so restrictive and,
right.
Whenever
you have a closed community that, creates this narrative that the outside world is dangerous and shouldn't be interacted with, there are usually problems.
Well, especially when there are people, especially kids, younger teens and stuff, who will venture out to try it out. Let me see if the outside world is everything that everybody's told me my whole life. And then they realize, well, it's not all of it. So then that's where you then question the truth of everything that you were taught as part of these groups and being raised in this way.
So the first person we meet is Emma, who's within the Amish community, because that's who we're meeting first. We're meeting kind of like the helpers of the bishop, who are going to be a big part of this experiment.
Right, because the bishop doesn't have a phone. And so he's like, hey, I'm not getting involved in all this.
We're pretending that they did their own recruitment campaign. Like, we're supposed to believe that Emma and James got on Facebook and figured out how to run an ad campaign. And that they've interviewed all of these people.
They're Facebook ad certified now, and they...
Blueprint certified. They took the test. They paid their $100.
They know what they're doing over there.
Running paid ad campaigns.
To get that all set up.
Yeah, we're going to act like production isn't really part of this, but whatever. So Emma actually seems pretty pleased with the Amish community. She's grown up here. She doesn't want to see it change. And she didn't really have any complaints, whereas her cousin James is in the opposite situation.
James is the troublemaker. He's the guy who got in trouble. He's currently being shunned right now. And he was from another community that was like way more strict. And then he came to this community because he was like, well, they're a little bit more laid back. I thought it'd be easier to get like unshunned here.
Which apparently part of doing that is going to be helping the bishop bring in outsiders.
Yeah, because he's like, wait, you have a phone?
I don't want to say it, kind of feels like trafficking.
Well, he's like, you can find me people to bring into the community.
Right.
Like,
it's okay if you break the rules if it's for my benefit right now.
Yeah, and like this is a way that you can do the things that got you into trouble. You can do that to win my favor back, and that will put you in good standing with the community again. Cool?
Sure.
Like, that sounds good, I guess. But James isn't just doing that. I mean, he's got like little stashes of booze that he has around and stuff.
Still.
He's got, he's up
a
to
lot
no
of
good.
them have secrets. We saw a few little bits from other episodes where
Little
people
bit.
are going to reveal the things that they have hidden.
A little
I
bit.
guess they think no one's ever going to see it because they don't have a TV.
Right. Yeah. How are they going to be able to catch all of these secrets in action here? Because then you would be, by admitting that you watched the show, which I don't think that's allowed, probably.
So the other really big problem is that obviously the longer a community exists that's closed off from society, the gene pool dwindles. And so that's really the big concern here. Not only are they losing people, but they're getting to the point where they're worried that they're going to have a lot of birth defects because we're having cousins marry cousins, a little bit like, sister wives. Maybe we'll have a family tree where...
Family wreath.
Family wreath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what James is realizing. He's looking around the communities, not a lot of dating prospects.
No.
I'm related to everyone in here right now, so that's not good.
Carefully weighed the risks versus the benefits because it is a big deal to bring in outsiders because they can influence everyone else with the culture that they've come from. So that's scary, but they're having to, weigh this with the fact that they're going to not be able to continue this community if there's no one for them to marry and have children with. We're going to have some Habsburg jaws.
Oh, among other things, yeah. So that leads us to Kendra, who is a Milwaukee transplant living in L.A.
I'm sorry, but it sounded like a lot of her issue is she just hates living in LA.
It sounds like she doesn't like LA.
It's like, why don't you move?
She is very upset that you walk down the street in LA. People don't ask you how you're doing. They don't greet you. They don't say hello. They don't befriend you at parties because you don't have enough followers online.
And they're also like really judgmental because she's Christian. And she does seem to take her faith pretty seriously, but she's a dancer. And so that's created, this issue for her where what she does professionally doesn't really balance out with her personal life.
Well, here's the complexity of that. She's too worldly to fit in with her religious groups, and then she's too religious to fit in with her LA groups.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not feeling connected anywhere, and that's why she's looking elsewhere. I don't know if this is, again, the first route, the thing that I would put at the top of the list of like, oh, joining the Amish will solve this. Of all of these problems, these issues that she's experiencing, what she's currently going through from a social perspective, will that be resolved by joining a rural Amish community?
Probably not. She
don't think
also
so.
has a lot of self-hatred that I think she needs to work through. Like, she's talking about a time where she went on OF and...
She started a Woolly Fans, yeah.
There you go. We'll just call it Woolly Fans
Woolly
for now.
Fans, that's what it is.
And she is really holding on to that as something that she regrets and kind of like hates about herself that she did that.
It was like 5 years ago. She's not a slut anymore, but she still feels slutty.
That's basically the way she talks about herself.
Right.
I mean, to say she's judged by people because of the pictures she puts on Instagram, it's like you're very judgmental towards yourself too.
Yes, very much
Like
so.
you're reflecting that back.
But also, she has a little secret. She had a Amish boyfriend, or well,
She tried
an
to hook up with an
interest.
Amish guy.
Yeah, she had interest in a Rumspringa sort of. She was like a Rumspringa temptress, I guess. Is that what we want to say? What do we want to call this? She was one of the English people who showed up at a Rumspringa party and then She was going after the Amish kid who was like, no, I think I'm going to stay Amish. And then I said, wow, what do you know if she gets here and then it ends up being James? What if it's James? That's the guy.
I think that'd be funny if the guy was in this community.
Comes full circle here that she runs into this same guy that she had. It's, very small circles that they run in here. It seems like not a lot of social opportunity as far as moving around to the different Amish communities, maybe. It's a possibility. We'll see if it plays out.
I think this can be really rough for her because she really hasn't been able to figure out already in her life. She's 33 years old, how she has her faith and then also how she lives in the world. And she hasn't been willing to give that up, either of those things.
She feels like 33 going on 19.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
There's a little arrested development here.
Like she has not a lot of comprehension of what's going on or like deep introspection as far as how she's interacting with the world.
The next one we meet is Judah, who's 22. And he's from Missouri. Really, his story is that he feels like he doesn't fit in.
He was talking about how there's not a lot of emphasis on mental health concerns in the Black community that he has experienced in his life.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, he's maybe read any research into how mental health is handled within the Amish community.
Maybe he should go watch the Amish Witches documentary that we covered on our Let's Talk About It.
Oh my God, that was so bad. Don't even watch it. It wasn't even entertaining.
It was bizarre, is what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that was weird because that was shot like it was a documentary.
Yes, they took it very seriously, where it was not serious at all as far as the stuff that happened with that. It was basically it was people who were slowly leaving the Amish community.
So they really didn't cover this in depth in this episode. They just mentioned in passing that he has some phobias. I read in the press release for the season that he has an issue with germs.
Okay, so there might be some, germophobia or like OCD type tendencies.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll learn a little bit more about why he's so concerned about, mental health being taken seriously and if that's related to something that he deals with personally. But I would think that if you struggle with, germs and cleanliness, that being out in nature and interacting with animals and, having a limited access to like cleaning supplies may be something that is hard for you.
Well, that was what his family was immediately calling out. They're like, you go get manicures, pedicures, and facials and like spa treatment stuff every month. Living off the grid is like, there's going to be a lot of bugs and dirt and like...
It seems very counter to the things that you enjoy in life.
Stuff that you have as very important for you that you find security in. You will not have that at all.
So again, that feels like a contradiction where it's like, I don't feel accepted for the way that I like to live my life, but now I want to go into this community where that is also not how they live their lives.
I think he saw this as his route out of the neighborhood that he's currently in, out of the hood, but he couldn't do it. I get it. Your options are limited. So this is what he went with.
I think he wants to be on TV. I think everybody here wants to be on TV.
Maybe.
Some more than others. They did ask
guess,
a good question, his family. They're like, are there Black people in the Amish community?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was I don't know who, it was his sister or his aunt.
You might be walking into like a Midsummer sort of scenario here, like a Get Out Midsummer crossover that we're talking about. So like, what are you signing up for here?
So he's also Muslim. And it doesn't sound like that's something that he thinks is going to be an issue.
Okay, the way that he was describing it was he hopes that through all of his faults, everything that he has going on in his life, that the Amish community will accept him as he is. And it's like, hold on a minute. Yeah. Hold on.
That's not really how this works, Judah.
That's not what the Amish community does.
No. That's why the bishop tells them as soon as they get there, you're expected to integrate into this community. You're not going to just be able to come in, be who you are, and be accepted. The whole point is that there's a way this community functions, and there are expectations of how you participate in it.
You get to be a cog in the machine here. Like, we already have this all set up and established. We just need to kind of broaden the gene pool a little bit.
See, but that's the issue with individualism, which is a very Americanized culture thing, versus, living in an insular community where the community is really the focus.
And I mean, I feel like there needs to be a balance. Obviously, you can't have
I'm not saying one is better than the other.
No,
I'm saying there's a conflict there.
Correct. That's what I'm saying is like you can't go too extreme in either end of that, of hyper individualism or this communal type living where there is no individual, there is only the community, because that gets weird too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's what they're going to discover is that, coming in from the outside, the people within it are experiencing that to a certain degree, where they feel like they want to be individuals. They want to go experience things.
That's temptation.
That's right.
We're talking about temptation.
We'll get there.
Now.
We're not to the temptation
because
yet.
Bishop Vernon is checking in with his brother Alan and his wife Sarah. So he's getting them geared up for, you're going to be kind of like the English foster parents of these people that are coming in from the outside. And they've done this before where they've like opened up their home to,
I think with children.
Well, yeah, with other people.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they were people from outside the community or if it was from like other Amish communities. Cause there are people who like move around from Amish communities.
Like when you get shunned.
Yeah. You got to kind of mix things up. You got to shuffle it around.
But the point being that they've avoided temptation before from interacting with English people.
They've proven that they can do this.
So they're like the red team. They're going to end up getting assigned some of these participants who they're going to shepherd through this experience.
You have to teach them how to be good Amish because you'll have a month. You'll have 30 days of teaching and training and getting them into Amish,
society.
Just like tip-top Amish shape. And then there will be the Day of Reckoning, which I feel like we could have come up with maybe a less concerning name.
It's ominous.
Yeah, there's a threat to that. The Day of Reckoning is coming.
And that's when they're going to decide if they've kind of like passed the test to be able to stay in this community if they choose to do so.
Not even pass the test to join the community, to see if they are still able to continue to try to be in. I don't think that they're accepting them in after 30 days. I think they're seeing, do you even have what it takes to continue that pursuit of joining the community?
It's decision day, like Married at First Sight.
Kind of, but like not even, it's like decision day for the community, but not so much for them. Yeah, it's just going to be whoever's left, I guess.
So then the blue team is going to be Emma and James, which is an odd choice. You may be thinking, James has had his own struggles with the temptations of the world, but
he's going to be on his best behavior because he's trying to win his way back in. He's trying to win favor. So he needs to, show that he's able to do this.
I think this is a real win-win for James because either he gets accepted into this community and he's not shunned anymore, or he maybe makes some connections in the outside world and he can leave.
Store some phone numbers, get some contacts going. We're doing some networking now is what
Pick
we're getting
some
into.
things out of some suitcases.
Yeah, keep an eye out. You got to stay informed as what's going on here.
All right, now we meet our next participant who is Esmeralda. Esme. They started just calling her Esme.
Yeah.
Renesmee, who's 25 and is from Texas. She grew up with a single mom. Was she an only child? She made it sound like she felt like an only child, but maybe she wasn't an only child.
I think she was an only child raised by a single mother, so she didn't have like a big family.
She's someone looking for community.
She's looking for, yes, and I think she's trying to find one big happy family in an Amish community, which if you're an outsider joining an Amish community, I think that's going to be very difficult. That's not usually what you get.
No, I think the other thing that was concerning was her expressing that she's really had it with society and that she's looking for a traditional marriage. She wants, traditional gender roles, but she's looking to seek that within the Amish community without really understanding Amish society.
She's trying to do a Ballerina Farms trad wife thing.
Okay, that's where I was wondering, like maybe we could do something a little less extreme in that you don't have to completely dip out of the modern world. And it feels like it would fit what it is you are looking for in your
Because the
life.
stuff that she was listing off was she was like, I'm really excited to have like a man of the house. Red flag. Don't like that. Don't like the way that that was being talked about. And then she was super excited about not needing to pick out outfits to wear every day.
No, she was talking about how she weighs herself every morning. And she seems to have an obsession with her appearance because she's always comparing herself to other people. So she thinks that being Amish will put her on like an even playing field with all of the other women.
There won't be this jealousy or this comparison with other women because we all look the same and act the same. And there is no individual. I just become part of the group.
That's a big red flag. That's an issue.
That's not
Again,
seeming like a realistic approach to what your experience is going to be.
Also think we may find an issue with, wherever you go, there you are, that this is probably not going to solve all of your insecurities.
She's the one who I thought she has the most idealized version of this in her mind.
A lot of them have romanticized this idea of living without technology and what it's going to be like to be Amish, but they haven't really thought about what it's going to be like to, wake up in a hot house with no air conditioning, or all of the things you're going to have to do throughout the day just to ensure your survival.
Yep. Yeah. It's the complete dependence and reliance on technology while also demonizing it and saying it would be so much better if I didn't have all of these things that I use every single day.
I'm really interested to see how she does when she sees how much work there is for Amish women.
Yeah, because that's what she was excited about, was to just, I get to be a housekeeper, homemaker. And it's like, oh, no.
Which, look, that's a lot of work in the modern world with things that assist you to do all of that work.
Right.
Never mind taking all of that away, and now you're having to do things by hand. You're having to cook from scratch. Like,
laundry?
I
Laundry
don't know
by
that
hand?
She's going to enjoy the things that she thinks she's looking forward to.
Gonna have to bust your washboard out here. It's going to be a rough go, to say the least.
Wait until it takes you 3.5 hours to wash a couple of things. I'm not surprised, though, by what she was talking about, because I do think that there's, a trend within society, especially like within people within their 20s, feeling like they want to return to, this time with more traditional gender roles. So,
equal pay. That's how you're going to get there. Equal pay. Workers' rights. That's what you can look into. Maybe Google that for a couple of hours first.
Okay, let's move on to Erin. Erin is 40 and from Michigan. Erin is kind of giving me sociopath. I'm going to say that right up front.
Interesting. Well, he had a weird, he's got like some Patrick Bateman energy going
Exactly.
on. Yeah, like American Psycho sort of stuff, where he was talking about how he was a virgin, he was saving himself for marriage, that was very important to him. And then about 10 years ago, because he's like in his early 40s now.
Yeah.
So about 10 years ago, there was some harlot who stole his virginity, took his purity, threw it on the ground. It was seen this story 100 times, haven't we?
Look, I don't want to discount that. That's totally possible, because I think that we don't take it seriously that like men can be put in that situation. But
I didn't like that he blamed her.
The way he spoke about it.
Well, and it was like, it was her fault. I got tricked. So like he was doing like a Robin Brown sort of, I got tricked into this.
I'm no longer happy with my behavior, so I need to put the accountability on somebody else.
The blame has to go elsewhere, though, because it can't stay here. So I didn't like that part of it. The way that he was describing it was just very matter-of-fact, pointed, and limited in the information that he was divulging here as part of that, too.
He does actually have a little bit of experience with the Amish community.
His dad, there was like, they became like a driver for the Amish community or something like that. So it was just, they were kind of like a go-between with their religious group and the Amish community near him.
Some interaction.
Well, and his dad is giving him advice too of like, there's a lot that you're giving up. So I think he's framing it out a little bit better of there are, trade-offs to this sort of the realistic, the reality behind the decision that you're making.
Yeah. His dad's also a pastor, and he does come from, a religious background. So I think that maybe like some of the expectations will be more understood from his standpoint than some of the other people who are coming in here.
But then knowing that, why is he hoping that the Amish will be accepting of his secret disability that he's not disclosing at this point when we first meet him? He doesn't say what it is, so then it's like,
we're kind of left on a cliffhanger.
Okay, we don't know what that means. And then, like, usually, though, from our experience of what we've seen and what we've understood about the Amish so far, not very accepting to outside sorts of, like non-community approved things. So, like, what is the disability and what does that depend on? I think that's going to be a big...
What kind of accommodations does he need?
Right.
Because they're worried that, or he's worried that they may not be okay with that.
What was the other, like, American Psycho energy that you had? Or it was the serial killer vibe just in general?
It's the whole thing. It's like the perfection of the way his hair is done. Like
while he's working out, his hair still looks like that. And it's like, no, I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even when he was talking about, like, that experience losing his virginity and how he hasn't really dated, I just get this vibe that, like, maybe no one's good enough for him.
Okay.
We didn't really learn too much about him.
No. So I guess that's the other part of it, the other piece of it. We'll have to keep an eye on this guy. He's on the watch list now. But we also have Billie Jo.
Billie Jo, BJ.
BJ.
My absolute favorite cast member so far.
She's a gem.
This is the star of the show. This is our neurodivergent queen.
She's our special interest girly.
She's going to deliver the comedy this season. I'm predicting it now.
Yes. So she is very interested. Her special interest is Amish culture, Amish society. And it has been for a long time. What was it, 20 years she's been going on where she wants to be Amish?
And she's been dressing Amish exclusively for the past 10 years.
The Plath 10 years.
the Plath family farm. She would probably love that place too. That's probably her second pick of a show on TLC she would be on if she could.
Back up.
The first time we meet her on the show, she is dressed in Amish cosplay.
Okay. This calls into question, is this appropriation or appreciation? Because she's trying to say it's appreciation. I have all of these Amish things, these toys, these different
She's got a
Amish
bonnet
culture,
for her dog.
A bonnet for the dog, but then it's a costume for the dog. So then I think that's what's calling into question.
It's appropriation, right? To keep everything about your culture that you experience on a daily basis, but then pretend to be from another one.
So, and I get that if she's doing this because she wants to, it's dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have.
Which
sort
is
of
barista.
Yes, she's a barista, but she dresses Amish. And then I think that's when people are like, oh, so you don't live Amish? Like, you're not actually Amish, or you weren't raised Amish? No, I really dig the vibe, like.
I love that customer is like, do you think they would probably find that offensive?
Right. Well, because then that's where it's
like,
calling
it's
in the
never crossed her
distinction.
mind.
Is it appreciation? Is it appropriation? But I think in her case, since she is doing this, like, this was all training for, she's trying to get used to those aspects of living Amish life before fully embracing.
I have my doubts about BJ. When we see her first time out there in the community, I don't think that she is prepared at all.
She came rolling up. She had 2 suitcases full of stuff. So it's like, how much stuff were you bringing out here too in general?
She got a lot of outfits.
She's lugging them behind her.
She got a whole Amish wardrobe that she brought with her. That
must be it. She's here for the look. She's already judging Kendra's boobs, though. They're popping out of the top there, and when they're meeting up here on the farm. And so I think BJ will mesh well with the community as far as talking shit about that stuff. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think that's going to vibe.
I think the thing that's going to be a shocker to her is that she's not well liked or accepted by the Amish people, the Amish women especially. And my prediction is that she's going to be a rat.
Oh.
That she's going to spend a lot of her time trying to find fault with the other participants.
Right.
Because she wants to be the last one standing.
Yeah. She seems like an Amish woman who would be accused of being a witch, though. Right? Like, that would tie back in with the stuff we mentioned earlier there. But that's not all the people from the show yet. We still have Matt, who just kind of walks up. He just...
Yeah, why are some of these guys not having to share a whole lot about themselves?
Well, and we didn't see him at all. And then he's just walking
there.
up to the farm.
I was confused. I thought for a second, did Aaron grow a beard before he showed up here?
It's a totally different guy. So it's like The Bachelor, though. You got to be careful. It's just grabbing different facial features and moving them around a little bit here. But this is Matt. He's a librarian from Texas. A lot of recruitment from Texas on the show.
Yeah.
His dad was a calf roper, but not him. That's not his scene. He's not looking to do all that. He's a father of twin boys.
Okay, this is what I wanted to know the most about, because what are we doing? We've got 2 kids.
Yeah, the kids aren't here as part of this.
No.
But like, if you were to be integrated into this Amish community, would the kids come along as part of that? How do you share custody with twins on an Amish community?
How do you go in and out of a closed community?
That's not going to work like that. So what are you envisioning? You know, like what are you seeing for the next few years of like what that would look like? I don't know. But the way that his life is now at 35, it's not what he expected. That's all he said.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think a lot of people feel like this. Well, he mentioned he thought he'd be married. Like, it's just, this isn't the life he envisioned for himself. So he's ready to do something extreme.
He's disenfranchised.
And get away from modern society.
He's disenfranchised. And so he's just going to throw all that away and say, well, I'll just
Fuck it. Let's start from scratch.
I'll keep it simple. Keep it simple this time around.
I don't think we know enough about him to make a judgment call yet, but I am, concerned about somebody having children and thinking that they're just going to easily pluck them out of the whole world that they've known and take them to be Amish.
If that's even a thing, like, because does the community have to accept the kids too? Like, would they have to go through their day of reckoning? Is it a 30-day trial membership the same way that you guys are doing?
I don't know.
I don't know how that would work. I don't know what the logistics are on that. So I don't know what this means for Matt. We'll have to see how that plays out. But meanwhile, everybody's meeting up at the barn here, which Judah walking up in his Kiss boots, like Gene Simmons, Detroit Rock City.
Yeah. The wardrobe choices were choices. Even Kendra is wearing her smallest little spandex dress that she could possibly find in her closet.
A little low cut.
The only person who came dressed appropriately was BJ.
To be fair, she's the only one who had access to the wardrobe ahead of time. Yeah.
But you would think that showing up here today, maybe you would dress down a bit.
Oh, they dress down. Yeah. You mean like dress the part more of...
No, well, not dress the part, but like, maybe just wear some casual clothes that are going to be discarded of anyway.
Oh, no. This is a typical like American tourist situation that we're running into here.
No research into what you should be doing.
I'm not looking into common customs in the area, the region that I'll be traveling to, the community that I'm going to be visiting, what's offensive, what's accepted, what the ideals are in that region or anything. No. I'm not going to look into any of that. I can't be bothered with that. I'm me. I'm showing up as I am. Accept me or not. Odds are they're going to not accept that. And that's immediately what we get into because Bishop's like, we got to talk about some stuff here.
Kendra, I'm going to need you to come into the barn.
Kendra, we got to talk. Yeah, you're first in for questioning in the barn. Actually, you're the only one in for questioning today because you're the only one with your tits popping out. So
okay, I was hopeful that maybe he was going to talk to everybody.
No, just
but
you.
This was really just calling her out to, tell her that she's not dressed appropriately and to get her to understand how it's going to be perceived.
You are targeted because he sits her down. So he's standing. She's seated in the barn. And then there's a power dynamic.
There's a power dynamic.
Power dynamic on display here.
He is the authority in the community.
He is. And the first thing that he asks her is, "Why are you the way that you are?"
That's exactly what he asked.
In the Michael Scott sort of way.
What motivated you to dress like this today, Kendra?
Why do you dress the way that you do? What is it about you? What's wrong with you?
So she has to explain, well, I'm a dancer, and this is the way I go to auditions. So I came to this audition dressed this way.
You already got the part. You're here. Okay. Like you're not still auditioning as part of this, right? And so he's kind of explaining to her, well, in our community, Skin is lust, basically, is what it equates down to.
My wife would be unhappy looking at the way you're dressed, not just because of, worries about me looking at you, but our son looking at you. You would not be upheld as a moral woman in this community dressed that way.
Jealousy, there's purity. You couldn't be accepted. You couldn't be courted. You're not a worthy woman of any social standing in our group.
Mm-hmm.
There's slut shaming, and Kendra wasn't prepared for that. She's like, this is what I was running away from LA entirely for, is like the slut shaming that I'm experiencing in my own head. And now I'm hearing it from these people who just met me.
Okay, I'm a little confused. Just because she talked about being a Christian, and look, I understand there's extremes, right? And maybe there are things that you feel are acceptable and other things that are not acceptable within your own faith. This should not have been a surprise, though.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the basic premise of understanding Amish culture, very strict. Purity culture, very much on that.
You saw the way BJ was dressed.
Have you ever seen any Amish person wearing anything similar to what you're wearing right now? No, you haven't. And there's a reason for that. That's not what the communities do at all.
Maybe she thought that there'd be like a wardrobe change at some point.
They did not get that opportunity, I guess. Yeah, she thought, I'll just change when I get to the hotel.
Yeah, they made her bird bath in the bathroom like Darcy.
There's not a hotel room to go to because, you're going to be sorted into houses now. We have to get the sorting hat out. And then you're going to put this on. Who's in Gryffindor? Who's in Hufflepuff?
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Will be Matt, BJ, and Kendra. You've been assigned to Alan and Sarah. I think this is the house that scares me the most.
I think BJ's Ravenclaw. If you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to get into that anymore, but if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
I don't think I'd want to live with Alan and Sarah. Alan scares me.
Yeah, I would rather, if you had your pick, because basically they split the group 3 and 3, where Matt, BJ, and Kendra are living with Alan and Sarah, and then the rest of them, Esme, Aaron, and Judah, are living with Emma and James. I feel like that would be
the cooler house.
Yeah, it's the cool house, right? It's I'd be able to work my way in with James, but if I was with Alan, I'd be like, oh no, this is going to be a problem. We're going to butt heads.
Also shocked by Kendra's getup.
They weren't ready for it. Yeah, they didn't know that was part of the deal here.
Luckily, we're moving off of that subject very quickly because BJ urgently needs to use the bathroom.
Our IBSD girly is on the scene.
Gotta go right now. Show me where I'm going. She said, get me a trough at one point.
Like, this is an emergency.
Yeah, she'll just send her out with the pigs. She doesn't care.
Something's going on.
She does care about the outhouse, though.
Once they show her the facilities, you probably feel like a tightening that's happening. Just a clenching up now where it's like, the urgency has left.
Yeah.
I don't think I have to go as bad because you're looking at a wooden outhouse with one side's got a hole, one side's got a square, and then here's your old newspaper for wiping after as needed.
Okay, the newspaper would be the thing that upset me the most about this whole setup.
Yeah.
I don't like the way newspaper smells.
No.
The ink, very cheap.
Ugh.
It's everywhere.
Smudgy smearing.
Mm-hmm. Not really like the thickest of paper.
No, I'll tell you a secret, though. You crumple it up, and then you unfold it, crumple it, unfold it.
Oh, you make it softer.
Unfold it, you make it a little softer.
Okay, but I feel like today's newspaper, it would just disintegrate.
Yeah, immediately upon contact.
I think you may lose the integrity.
It's going to go on like a temporary tattoo on your ass now. At this point, it's just going to stick and just dissolve. And then the ink will be left.
All over your paws.
It's all over your hands, all over your butt. It's everywhere. It's a mess. I love that BJ's asking for instruction after. She's asking for forgiveness, not permission here.
She's like, do the shapes, notate something.
Is it circle for number ones and then squares for number twos? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's gonna be a lot to clean up. Okay, if you're gonna tell me that there's a distinction now,
I used the square. Should I not have?
Was that a problem? Was that okay? Is that acceptable? Is there something I need to do now, or someone I need to inform of what has taken place?
Luckily, there's no Tetris going on here. It's just pick whichever one feels more comfortable for you, I
Well,
guess.
she makes a note not to go square again because she did end up with a splinter in her ass. So maybe we'll try circle next time, I suppose.
We don't have any, we can't sand things? They can sand things.
They could sand stuff.
They got to take it to that latrine.
Well, also, don't scoot your caboose on.
Don't keep moving.
Yeah. Set it down, straight down. Don't move side to side against the grain. Don't do that.
You know, maybe she needs some cushion or something. She was uncomfortable. Maybe she was there for a while.
You think they're going to have a donut for you there? I don't think so.
Maybe it's an accommodation she can request in the future.
Right, yeah. She should have asked so that we could see Alan's reaction to that.
My biggest disappointment was that we did not get to see Kendra assist her in removing the splinter.
Yeah, because who has tweezers? Did you guys bring that? Or is that allowed? Is that too technologically advanced? Fingernail clippers. If I can't have fingernail clippers, I'm out. Let me tell you.
I mean, they don't use any electricity or anything like that. I don't
Right,
think that's
I know.
too modern.
Is that too modern technology, though? That's like post-Civil War technology.
Don't you feel like the toilet would have been the thing you were most mentally prepared for?
Oh, absolutely. For like not having running water or
Yeah.
plumbing
Like,
or electrical.
I'd expect that there wasn't going to be a flushable toilet and that I was probably going to use an outhouse because, I mean, even if you're not talking about Amish culture, there have been many depictions of the use of wooden outhouses. That would not be the thing that would be shocking to me.
No. So for someone with such an affinity for Amish culture,
She hasn't thought about very much.
to be just completely blown away by this fact, that seemed a little drummed up, maybe a little played up.
I'd probably leave after I got a splinter. I'm not going to lie.
Splinter in the butt, specifically, yeah. How are things going at the other house, though? Esme, Aaron, and Judah, they're being offered some water straight out of the jug, right into your mason jar.
Judah's really weirded out by that. I'm like, people buy mason jars on Amazon at this point so that they can use them to drink out of. This
At
is
a
not
premium.
that.
Yeah.
This, again, not the thing that should be that shocking and different.
But it's making sense if there is a germophobia sort of
He doesn't
element.
like the communal pitcher.
Yeah,
He was
like
looking
the
for a water
exposed
bottle.
pitcher. Also, is this like well water that we went and pumped? It's probably not filtered water. It's not
Uh-oh.
reverse osmosis
We're
water.
going to have an Oregon Trail situation
I'm
here.
just saying, like, well, if you've had well water, it's very different. There's a taste to it. So it's noticeable. Yeah. And then there could be a smell to it as well.
Well, good thing they brought root beer with them.
Yeah. Come bearing gifts.
Was it root beer or was it birch beer?
They said root beer. I wish it was birch beer. If you're going to be in Lancaster, come
Maybe
on.
it was, and they called it root beer.
Well, then I'm more offended at that. If you're going to offer me root beer, you're handing me something calling it root beer, but it's actually birch beer. Bite your tongue.
James wanted beer.
I think he was looking for a beer. Yeah. When's the last time you drank straight mixer? It's been a while.
They're also looking around and they're like, the furniture, not so comfortable. It's all made of wood.
Yeah.
Again, not familiar with the skill set of the Amish, huh?
Well, they were like, oh, there's no furniture in the living room. Yeah, there's no TV. So what are you going to do? It's a room. It's a room with probably some storage for like blankets
You're
and
not
stuff.
going to be sitting down a lot.
That's
That's
what
a
it really comes
spoiler
down
alert.
to. Yeah, that should be the alarming thing that
Yeah.
you should be aware of here.
You should probably be fighting to keep your Fitbit so you can see how many steps you're taking.
Yeah, you're not going to have a lot of leisure time here. It's basically you fall down into your bed at the end of the day. That's it.
This then turned into like an episode of Jersey Shore where they're making them go through all their bags so that they don't have anything they're not allowed to bring into the house.
They're searching the luggage for contraband, but
Yeah.
then like they don't know what is considered contraband because they don't know the rules of these communities that they're coming into. So
Zero
then
research.
they're just pulling stuff out and then, oh yeah, you're not allowed to have this. So this is where we find out Aaron has a charging cable of some kind in his bag. What's this for? Those are for my hearing aids. So this is we're making fun of people's impairments now.
Yeah. He's hard of
reveals-
hearing, much like Meredith Marks.
He reveals his disability here.
Yeah, this was sad. So he got a fever when he had the flu when he was a kid, and he had permanent damage to his hearing. And so he wears hearing aids. But the hearing aids he has are connected to Bluetooth.
It's hooked up to his phone.
Which requires his phone.
Yeah.
So that's a real issue because the phone is a very big no-no.
Yeah, there's just too much temptation there. You're going to be hard-pressed to find an Amish community that would allow you to have a cell phone, even on the basis of this is for my hearing aids. So James is putting it in the questionable box because he's like, look, I don't want to say that you can't have hearing aids stuff, but like the phone connecting to it, we'll see if we can find an alternative for you. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I can't guarantee that this is going to get approved.
Okay, but then why is Aaron acting like they're discriminating against him? Because what he was told was, we will find you a pair of hearing aids that do not require them to connect to your phone. A lot of those exist because I don't know if Aaron's unfamiliar with the group that hearing aids typically cater to, but not usually people who are very well-versed in technology. So I think you have found one of the limited number of hearing aids on the market that are also connected to your phone.
He probably pays a monthly subscription for access to the app too. This is probably how they get you.
I mean, I wonder, is it doing other things by connecting to the phone?
Noise canceling, you can play music through it and stuff like that too.
Okay,
so it's
that's
like,
not
well,
what I was thinking.
Well, I'm just saying that's probably some features that you have, and
he wants to listen to music while he's working out on the farm.
You're not allowed to be doing any of that. Yeah, that's a no-no. Cardinal sin is having a phone with Bluetooth. Terrible,
so
unforgivable.
We have to do something about that. He is not the one who makes the biggest issue, though, out of giving something up.
Well, because he wasn't told outright that, no, you can't do that. It's in like a questionable pile right now. But for Esme, they're going through her bag. They're finding tons of makeup and skincare routine ointments and lotions. And they're going through, so they're trying to decipher, because then these are Amish people who they don't know what half this stuff is that she's bringing in. And so they're like, is this necessary? Is this required? Is this...
What is this?
Nobody here uses this. So you could probably throw it out and you'll be fine.
She's really trying to toe the line because she's like, it's not makeup. It's skincare.
It's skincare.
It's so I can wash my face. And they're like, here's some water.
Here's a bar of soap. Get to washing. Start scrubbing, I suppose. But also they start pointing out the lashes, the nails. Now we're getting into a whole other territory where you can't really make too many excuses on that.
Well, that's not allowed. You're going to have to take them off. And she's absolutely refusing to do that because they've already taken her makeup and her clothes.
So James is like, well, I already told her she can't do that. She's not complying. So now I have to call in Alan because Alan's going to come over and be the enforcer here. Because I still have to live with her,
okay,
so I
can't.
That
strange? Like, why did the bishop come?
Well, I guess they didn't want to go that high up in the chain here. And it's basically, I think it was like, do you think that Alan will call James over when he needs to enforce stuff? Because it's like, they still have to live with these people in this house.
Okay, so you feel like you can't be like...
You don't want to be like the...
creating issues right off the bat.
Yeah, or like making it that weird right out the gate.
A combative relationship.
Right, yeah. Right. You don't want to set it up like for that sort of dynamic right out the gate, I suppose. So I think he was calling in Alan as a backup so he could kind of enforce the rules a little bit more strictly. And they were laying it out for her where you're not going to be able to milk a cow with those nails like that. And she was like, well, I guess I won't be milking cows. And at that point, when she's standing in front of that big, huge fly strip that's covered in flies, and I was like, oh, yeah, I think as soon as she walked in the house and she saw that, she was the one who was talking about how, like, the furnishings in here are, like, really old. And, like, I think she was thinking of,
not meeting her expectations.
Yeah, she was thinking of, like, Joanna Gaines' farmhouse sort of Amish living is what she, again, the romanticization. She was romanticizing the fantasy.
This is not it. This is not what she pictured.
The fantasy of living Amish life was way better in my head than it is in practicality. This is terrifying. So I don't even care if they're going to kick me out at this point because I don't really want to be here now either.
Well, James tells her, you can leave. You're perfectly welcome to do that.
Do you want to fit in with our community or not? Because you can't fit in with your lashes and your nails like that. So that's the line in the sand sort of moment here that's happening at the end of the episode. Cliffhanger, we don't know. But then even on the preview for the rest of the season,
for the rest of the season,
she's all over the place. So obviously she's going to stay, but they had to drum this up for some sort of, tension at the end of the first episode. You don't know how it's going to go.
I'm so excited to see the rest of this because we're off to a pretty good start.
This looks good. Yeah. This is going to be good.
I really want to see them start doing things, meeting other people, having to work. I don't think it's going to go well.
She's networking. She's got some dates lined up.
BJ's looking to take that man with the nipple piercings home.
She's rubbing nipple piercings? Why are you not allowed to have lashes or fingernails, but then you're allowed to bring nipple rings?
I think that's his secret.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of these Amish people that they're going to interact with are going to have things that they're like very excited to talk about.
Because they finally get to mention that they're able to be an individual knowing that they have these secret things under their clothes.
Well, we'll be back next week. I think it's going to be a crossover episode with someone that you may know. It'll probably be an enlightening conversation about what it would be like for us all living in the Amish community.
Right, yeah.
As
a closed quad.
A closed quad in a closed community. Thanks for listening. See you next time.